Yeah, welcome creators. In this series of tutorials, we're going to paint this wine glass filled with wine. Well, actually, with a little nod to our upcoming graphic novel, Deacon's Alliance, we'll just say it's a wine glass filled with blood. Now we're going to do this a little bit different. I want to have nice crisp edges on this glass, and of course I need it to be very symmetrical, and this would be considered asymmetrical composition, by the way, because we're going to have two sides exactly the same symmetrical. We'll throw off some symmetry with maybe some shading and some stuff in the background. Now we'll figure that out when we get to it. But for right now, I want to focus on this cup. Now, what I plan to do, I've got the sketch, and I'm planning to use vectored lines in an unconventional way. In other words, I'll use the lines to create the perfect curves and everything for this glass, everything to be crisp, and then I'll use those lines as guides. So what I've done is I've created a layer over here I created a folder first off for my references, and it's got my sketch in it, and I also created a layer, a vectored layer. This one is a raster layer, which means I just draw it, and you can't manipulate it once you draw it, either erase it or do something else to it. But vectored lines are very special, and they're perfect for stuff like this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to draw this glass, and for that, we'll use that to create our templates and guides. Okay, let's start by creating the glass bowl first. So I'm going to come over here while I have my vectored layer here selected, and then I have an ellipse selected. Now the reason is no different than it has two on it, but it's just the same. It's just because I have a copy of this. So don't ignore the numbers. So here's ellipse, and I've got it, and I got it fairly small, 5 points. And that's because when I get done, these lines won't even show up. Okay, I have the aspect type is not checked so that I can kind of manipulate it. And I'm just going to kind of put it in place. And let's go with that for right now, because then I can what I have to do, I'm going to see it's popping. That's because I got the shift key down, and that's what I want to do. And so I click it again. Now it's there. Now I can come up to object here. I want to make sure you have object. And then I can click on this guy. And now you see he's made up of a bunch of dots that I can manipulate. Okay, so I'm going to put this in place. And I'll just bring it up a little. I'm not as much concerned about this side, and the reason why is because we're going to make it symmetrical. So once I have this side in place, I'm going to delete half of this circle. We're going to create half of the glass, and then we'll flip it so that we have the whole glass, and the whole glass it's perfectly symmetrical. Okay, but I just need to get it into place, and we're going to manipulate this side and bring it up to here. So let's go ahead and get rid of the half. So I'll come up to this tool here. This is the they call it a correct line. I'd like to I think it should be called a, point tool or something, because we're not necessarily correcting the line. But anyways, there's this option called split line. I'm going to select that, and then I can come up and I'm going to click on that one. Notice it goes away, and that's because the 2, well, it's cut there. And I'm going to come down here and cut it there too. Now we have 2 halves. I'm going to come back up to the object tool, click on that one, and just delete it. I'll come back down to the line tool, and I'm going to click on move control points, because that's what I'm going to want to do right now. So I like right where this guy is. I'm not going to change him, but I am going to start moving these guys around. Try to follow the drawing a little bit, because the glass isn't a circle. It is kind of a, it's a bowl, and it has its own shape. It's not it's curved, but not not a circle. Actually made up a pretty complex angles. Okay, now what I need to do is I'm going to put that one over there, and then I'm going to click on the delete control point, and then I can come in and just start deleting those. Now I'll go back to move, and we can move these guys in much easier. Okay, come back out, see if there's anything else we need to do. Okay, I kind of like it. Just try to flatten that out just a little bit, so it feels like that the glass is coming in. Yeah, and then it'll continue on to the other side, so it's sitting on the stem. Okay, now let's do the stem. And again, I'm going to select the ellipse, and I'm going to try to create. And if I hold the shift key down, it'll give me, the aspect. It'll lock in the aspect ratio. Aspect. Yeah. So that it's either a circle or an ellipse. Okay, and then I went up and clicked on the object. I'm going to click on this guy here and kind of move him like that. Now, don't make the mistake of trying to move him with this guy, because it'll move both lines because they're all on the same layer. So I use the object, and it moves the individual objects within that layer. Okay, this one should be quite easy. I'm going to come down and split this line. So I'm going to select the split line option and split there, and I'll let this come down to even there. Yeah, okay. Come back to the object and delete what I don't want. Okay, now come back down to the line tool, and we're going to move points. So I want this one to be right about there. Take this guy, and I think I need one right here just to kind of bring it in. So I have an option to add a point, and I'm going to add the point right there, and then I'll go back to move, and let's so we got some strength there to hold that bowl. We don't want our wine just going everywhere, or in this case, the blood going all over the place. Yeah, the wife wouldn't like that staining the carpet. Now, if I'd be sleeping on the couch for a bit. Okay, we'll bring this on around like that. Now, I'm going to make the stem separate from the foot here, and that's so that I can, it just gives me more control, so I'll need to bring this on around. And I think the best way to do that anyways, is to do another ellipse. Bring it right, something like that. And then I'll go up to the object and scroll in real tight. Click on it and then just move it into place. Just like that. Okay, then come back down to the line tool and we're going to split this line. And I want to split it right down the middle here. But I also want to then split it like right there. Or should I do it right? Let's do it right here. Okay, I'll show you why. I'll go ahead and delete that. And now I can either move this up with that guy, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now we have the stem. And I could put something here, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and do paint where this has got a kind of a tighter edge to it where it meets the foot. This one's kind of softer, so I think I can get away with painting that by hand. Now let's put in the footing. So come back down to our ellipse, and now I'm going to, I kind of feel like that the drawing is probably off. Get that back where it was. Now click, and yeah, see how the drawing drops down, and I think that's, you know, that's just the inaccuracy of my sketch. Because really, you know, I'm kind of eyeballing it while I'm looking at the glass, and you know, by the time I was done, there was no more wine in the glass, not in the bottle, in the glass. Okay, I think that will work. Now, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go Control C, in other words, copy it, and then paste it with Control V, and then I should be able to do that. And I think I'm going to just bring this out just a bit. Again, it doesn't matter as much on the other side, although I'd like to keep the center line as centered as possible. You know, I know I'm going to be off when I flip it, but that's all fixable. Okay, now from there, I'm going to come back down to the line tool, keep my split line, and I want to split. For this one, I want to split here and split here. Then I can come up and click on this and delete it. Okay, now what we're going to do, still with this selected, I need to get, you know, behind this guy. So come down to the line tool. I'm going to click here, still with split line selected. Come and click here. Okay, and now I can delete that. Okay, and this guy, I don't need that part right there. So let's go ahead and split the line from right there. And then I can just get rid of that. Okay, now we have some lines to adjust. So come down to the line tool, move control points. And I'm just going to pull it till he's right on that line. And this guy, I'm going to kind of just bring him around like that. So it's kind of a soft, not a, a hard edge. It won't be a hard edge. It's just kind of a soft curve there. Okay. Now I'm going to turn off our sketch so it's not in the way. And there we have half. Now I still need the top and the wine. So the best way to do that is, let's see. If I take this line, so I'm going to go up to Object. Let's take this line. Do a Control-C, Control-V. So now I have a copy. And I'm just going to move him just that way a bit and then up a bit. I want him to be close to the edge, but not necessarily all the way. And I like how it comes closer and closer because the glass is actually thicker on the bottom. So maybe we could come up like that. And then what I'm going to do is come down to the line tool, select the split line option. I'm going to click here. And then with this, we can there we go. Okay. Delete the one that has this short marquee there. Okay. Now I want to move this out a bit. So come back here, move control points, and we'll bring this. I need it to actually to be something like that. These two guys, the top of the glass and also this curve for the wine, which would be the top of the wine. I'll do those after we flip this. Okay, so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a copy of the vectored lines. Duplicate. And then with the one that's duplicated, come down to transform, and we're going to flip it horizontally. Then we'll go ahead and apply that, and we're going to move the whole thing over horizontally. And I'm using the key because I don't want it to move in the y-axis at all, in the vertical axis. Don't want it to do that. Okay, now we have some, of course, that don't meet, and that's okay. I'm going to use the bowl as my guide. Now we'll come down to our line control, move points, and I'm going to move those in. Now once again, I'm going to turn off the sketch. And let's come down. So we got some overlapping. That's okay since, yeah, I'm not going to do anything about it. There's nothing really, because as long as it's there, it's not going to affect anything. Okay, now that we have this, we can do the top and the bottom. So once again, I'm going to take the ellipse here. Oh, and before I do that, let's merge these down now so that they're all together. So merge with the layer below. And so now they're all one. Okay, so let's come up. I'm going to turn the sketch back on now because I want to get an idea of how this oval should look. And then I'm just going to draw it in. Okay, grab the object. And not bad. Yeah. So I'm going to move it up a little and move it over. Let's see how centered we are. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Now I'm going to come back to the line tool with the move control points and just pull that right over the top of that so that they're okay. Now I could copy that and pull it on down, but I think to be more accurate, I'm going to draw it, and I want to be okay. Somehow I got the erase done. So let's pick the right color. That was interesting. It was going to erase. As a vector, I'm going to have to remember that because I could use that. Okay, and we'll have to pull this in just a bit so it touches there and this side touches there. We'll go up a bit. Okay, that looks good. That one is interesting. Oh, maybe it's because that's what it is. Okay, and that's good enough. Okay, now come back down to the line tool, select move, and we're going to move that right on top. Same with this one, bring it up right on top. Okay, we'll turn off our sketch, and there's our wine glass. And I think that's where we're going to stop for this episode. And the next episode, we'll go and start to block it out and get ready for our painting.